Mark, you ready?
We are ready, sir.
First, what a great college football game. And we're seeing so much parity in college football, and it's like a roller coaster. When you hop on it, you feel like you're in good shape, and then you go back down, you come back. But one thing this team hasn't done this year is won a tough game at the end and found a way to win. And what we've talked about all week is the when we got adversity on offense at Virginia Tech, we didn't handle it very well. When we had adversity at Georgia Tech and turned the ball over so much, the defense finally cracked and we didn't hang in there like we normally would have. And then last week against Florida State, we're up 10-0 to start the game in the first quarter. Then they get the 60-yard run, and it looks like we let up and we just lost our confidence. So I don't know if it's frustration. I don't know if it's disappointment from the expectations that they know we haven't handled them. They're letting each other down. They're letting the fans down. I don't know. So tonight we said we're playing a very, very talented team, probably as talented as we'll play. And there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some adversity, and you're going to be in trouble. Just find a way to win. That's the only thing that's important tonight. So there'll be all the coaches will want to out there. I want to gripe about this and gripe about that. I'm really, really happy that we beat Miami. And give them credit. Quarterback played well. We let them off the field too many times on 3rd and 4th down, but we had the great 4th and 4 stop that might have won the game before the interception at the end by our two backers. And Coach Bateman put them in the right place. But with Jeremiah tipping the ball and that thing stayed in the air for about an hour and a half. I saw it go through Ritzy's hands, and I think it might have been Vahasek. They were all fighting for it, and it was all tipping. I said, somebody just get that ball. And obviously we did to make a play to win the game. So entirely too many penalties. I think there'll be some we'll probably send to the conference office tomorrow to be reviewed. But we'll keep looking at that every day to see if we can do a better job by having fewer penalties. Sam Howell was unbelievable with his ability to make plays with his feet. So just thought the kicking game was really good. We were so close to blocking 2 punts. We were right there and just couldn't get there. And we had a great kickoff return. But the most important thing and the thing that I'm so excited about is we found a way to win. And winning is all that matters in this business. And let me say, Manny Diaz has done a good job. They've got great young players. And they played their hearts out tonight. You sit and watch their Virginia game the night they played. They had Virginia beat, and they missed a field goal with one of the best kickers in the country right at the end. And they kept fighting and came back. They had 80 yards total offense at halftime, ended up with 400 and something. So they had entirely too much the second half and took a drive from the -4 yard line all the way down to score and go for 2 and make it. So that team hasn't quit on him, and they continue to fight. And you got to give them a lot of credit. Questions?
Thank you, Coach. We will begin with Patrick Welter.
Mack, I know there was at your own 31 there, that final 4th and 6, but what was it about your defense that gave you faith to punt the ball there as opposed to giving it to Sam Howell to have one play to win the game?
Well, I'd rather us made the first down, but we looked really bad those last 2 offensive series. I'm going to have some conversations about why. I know that we were trying to run the ball, and I know that we wanted to milk the clock and get rid of their 3 timeouts, but they still had a chance to win the game. And we've got to do a better job of using the clock, but still trying to make sure that we score. And if we had scored even 3 points when we're in pretty good position there with the drive before the last 2, we get a field goal, that makes it a 2-score game with 14 points and puts them in a lot more trouble than with 11. So, but I didn't think, I thought the offense played really well tonight. They did some great things, but I didn't like the way we handled the last 2 series.
Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Coach, can you put into words the exhale, the feeling of relief you must have felt after Cedric caught that ball, the way this thing was trending the last 2 quarters?
Andrew, we really can't. I don't think it's sunk in yet. It's kind of like the Duke game. I saw it, and I wanted to make sure it was real. And then you start seeing all your players rush the out to the hash mark. You're trying to get them and get them back. And as soon as I get through with you guys, I think I'll probably really sit back and say, this is really cool. What a great win for this program and what a great win for these kids.
A lot of people will parse a lot of the different things that didn't go well in this game, but can winning a game like this when so much didn't go right and you could have lost, is that sometimes that's something that you can really build on? It can ignite a team and launch it forward?
Yes, it really is, Andrew. We're at a point in our society where there are a lot of people negative about everything. And I'm not going to be negative about any of this. What I'll do is I'll go home right now and I'll grade the video 4 or 5 times, like I've said. I'll look at it. There'll be things we can fix tomorrow, but these are kids and both teams are really good. And what's a shame in college football now, people will be all over Manny and his kids played a great game, just like they did against Virginia. There should be a real positive for the Miami program for how they played and how they handled everything. People will be on us about things because certain people just can't help themselves. And one of the things I love about fans is they love to coach. That's why they come. They get into, you should have done this and you should have done that. And really and truly, it's a whole lot easier to coach when you don't have to. I did it for 5 years on TV. Man, I could say anything I wanted, and I didn't know that coach, the kid was sick. I didn't know he was late. I didn't know he was hurt. I didn't know why he substituted, but I could answer it because I didn't have too much information. So I don't mind people being critical because that's part of the reason they come. It's part of the reason they like it. Well, what I've got to do is go fix it. And but if you're a North Carolina fan and you can't be really excited and celebrate tonight, you're probably not the fan we want you to be. You should be in coaching instead of being a fan, because this is really cool. And it was a great win, and I'm proud of these kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Michael Coe.
Hey, Coach, you've been doing this a long time. I mean, when you look at this game, so many points on the board, all the penalties, the Miami near comeback at the very end. Have you ever been in a game that's played out this way? Like, have you ever coached in a game like this before?
Michael, I probably have 33 years and 12 to 13 games every year is a lot of games. So, and I've been lucky enough to win a lot more than I lost, but I mean, we lost 3 seconds left to Texas Tech when we were #1 in the country. And a whistle blew and our player stopped and let Crabtree catch the ball. So, I mean, we beat Nebraska on the last second field goal where they thought the clock ran out because Colt McCoy was throwing the ball away, and that put us in a national championship game. So it's all about winning. And what I don't understand right now, Michael, it seems to me like more than ever, this one game doesn't lead to another. It's just crazy. You don't even know who's going to show up. So you've got to coach as hard as you can, try to get them ready to play, coach as hard as you can during the week, and then manage whatever happens during the ball game. And our penalties at the first of the game were tough penalties on defense. We've been on our defense all week about being aggressive. Well, there's a difference in being aggressive and having lack of discipline. But they were aggressive penalties. And so we've got to clean that up. But last week, they were sloppy penalties that just hurt us, and we weren't hitting people. Tonight, at least we were flying around getting after people.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Michael.
Adam Smith, go ahead.
Mack, was that Sam Howell or Javonte Williams on those touchdown runs?
Adam, I thought that was probably the biggest difference in our ball game. The turnovers by the defense and Sam's ability. The quarterback draw worked really, really well early, but he's so hard to bring down. And a couple of times he just ran through arms and twisted and went in to score. So that is a new problem that people have to have. And I think that will help us with the pass rush.
I was dating myself. I told Luke up here, it might be Natron Means, but anyway, like, you know how we like to say, you know, what does this mean? And, you know, like take a larger look at it. But I mean, does he almost redefine what he means to you guys almost every passing week. It seems like he's just like, I'm going to do whatever I can to help this team win.
Adam, he really does. Both of these teams tonight were fighting to find an identity. And that's at midseason because we've both been up and down and we both have good players. And it's been frustrating in some ways because we as coaches haven't figured it all out, but the guys still believe and they still work hard. And our team was so passionate tonight. And Sam's part of that. And Jeremiah Gemmel is one of the best leaders I've ever seen. I told you that last year. And he has not let up one bit. And he's on those guys, but he stays positive. And he and Sam have been a huge difference for this team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Luke DeCock, go ahead.
Hey, Mac, one more question about Sam. One, did you talk to him at all after the pick six and kind of rally him there? Have to with him, and he took tonight, and some of it obviously he kind of put his head down and took on himself. But are you concerned at all, sort of, at this point in the season, the number of hits he's taken to this point, and do you have to kind of tell him maybe slide a little bit more often in those situations?
Well, Luke, number one, we tell him to slide every time unless it's going to be the difference in a first down. And he just doesn't like to slide. He's trying to make more yards, and he's just such a competitor. But he has been told every time to slide. But he is tough, and he's a specimen. He works out all the time. He eats right. His body's in great shape, and this will be a good week for him to be able to rest up. So this should help him feel better for the big game at Notre Dame. Secondly, he has made a difference in his football team. We haven't been as good and as open at the outside wideouts as we would like. We're trying to get that. We had the big play to Antoine Green tonight, but we still got to make more plays out there. People are going to start and continue to start trying to stop Josh Downs because he's been such a prolific player in the first 7 games. But Sam has decided, and Phil, our offensive staff's decided that a huge part of our offense has become Sam running the ball and taking it down and making plays. And he's got such good instincts. He knows when to take it down, and he just did that time and time again tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Luke.
Okay, we have time for one more for Coach, and that will come from CL Brown.
Hey, Mac, you were saying both teams were fighting to find an identity. What do you feel like you learned about your team tonight? What kind of identity does this team have?
The only thing that matters, CL, in the end is that you're passionate and you're confident and you leave everything out on the field and you find a way to win. And all of that happened with our team tonight. And like I said, the negative people that want to beat everything up, they were probably negative about the movie they saw last week, and probably about their lunch they had and about the dinner they had the night before the game, because this is a real positive for our program. And I am really, really excited about it. And let me say too, CL, that our fans were a difference tonight. Students have been a difference every game, but our fans, it rained, it stormed. They came, they were really, really loud. They picked our guys up throughout the game, and I thought they also affected the young quarterback for Miami some. Even had a false start on their punt. So I really appreciate the fans and what they meant to us tonight.
And can you kind of expound on Cedric Gray's performance? There was the play, I guess it was the second quarter, where he could have basically just given up on the play and allowed the touchdown. He ended up making a diving tackle at the 5. I kind of felt like that effort kind of extended on to later in the game when he had a couple of interceptions.
Yes, you'll have Jeremiah coming up here in a minute, and he can talk about Cedric because he's his mentor and leader to the young guys that are out there. But Cedric was not that highly recruited, and he was a safety and inside receiver, like a slot receiver in high school. So he's got great hands and he's got great effort and he's real smart. And our linebackers, but every time Cedric plays, he gets better. And you think he's only played in like 6 games in his college career. And we're going to have somebody take Jeremiah's place next year, like we had to replace so many of those great players last year. So it'll be fun to hear him talk about Cedric, but Cedric just plays with more confidence every day, and you can see he can really run. And I thought I might have missed it, but it looked like Tony Grimes made a great play on the first slant when the ball popped up that Cedric intercepted. And then we had a great defensive call on the second interception with Cam Kelly, and Cam's got outstanding hands because that's he had the great interception against Duke as well. So I think that Cedric's just going to keep getting better and better. And like I said, when Jeremiah comes up here, he can talk to you about Cedric. But Cedric, like Jeremiah, works every day. He brings it on the practice field every day. He loves to play. He's passionate about playing. And you can't say enough about young people that love to compete. And what we would like to give these guys before they leave is confidence in themselves, because a lot of people don't have that. And that's a very difficult thing to live your life without confidence. We'd like to have them learn how to overcome adversity, which our guys did tonight. They had time and time again that had a chance to put it away, and we didn't. But we won the game, and that's important. And you've also got to be passionate about something, and give everything you've got to whatever you're involved with. So confidence, handling adversity, and competitive and passionate enough not to be afraid to lose, not to be afraid to put yourself out there, but to make sure that you give everything you've got. And then usually if you do that, the outcome will be yours.
All right, Coach, thank you for a few minutes. Please go home and enjoy the victory.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Jeremiah, thanks for joining us. We will go right over to Garrett Lynch. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeremiah. So this week, Coach kind of mentioned that you guys had a lot of defensive communication was a primary focus. What can you say how you guys really were able to, get those issues fixed and be able to get a win today?
I thought we did a lot better with communication, out there talking, even with the young guys out there playing, coming out, because we made that emphasis all week. I think the biggest thing that hurt us really all game is, we had a couple miscues, but that's stuff we could correct. But it was really the penalties that we just had all game. I don't think we've had that many penalties on defense since I've been here. And I feel like the communication definitely got a lot better, but now we have to start working on better on our technique so we don't have as many penalties.
Thank you.
Gregory Hall.
Jeremiah, what can you say about Cedric Gray and the game he had today? To the game-winning interception, the other interception, pass breakup, touchdown saving tackle. Just what a day by Cedric today.
It's no surprise for me. I've been working with Ced since he got here, and I've seen how hard he works. I see how he wants to keep getting better and better every single day. And it's games like this where we come back and you think players, they have such a good game that they'll sit down and be really complacent about it. But Ced's going to be right back in the film room tomorrow and back on Monday, trying to keep getting better and better. And I feel like that's the standard we should be able to set here at linebacker at North Carolina. He was able to sit back and watch me and Chaz play last year and be able to develop mentally behind us. And I think he's done a great job of that. And then just throughout the spring and fall camp, he continued to get better and better. And you can see that on Saturdays that he's picking up and he's playing faster and faster each week.
Noah Monroe, go ahead.
Hey, Jeremiah, congrats on the win. So just walk me through that last drive. Miami keeps getting the yardage they need to get a first down. They're within field goal range, and then you get the interception. Just what was going through your head that entire drive?
Well, we were pretty much sitting in the same coverage for the whole drive because for one of our checks that we make for the FIB formations. And we were pretty much sitting in it the whole drive until they got down to the 30 and 20-yard line. And Bateman decided to dial something up. And that's when we dialed it up and we were able to get a turnover. I think that last play of the game just shows how the heart of the defense and how hard we just played the whole game. And the guys never gave up, kept fighting and fighting. And I think that showed out there on that last drive.
Right, Freelander.
Jeremiah, could you take us through the last play and how you saw it unfold?
Yeah, so we had a double flyer blitz, and I was mugged on the center. Went into the boundary, and I was able to slip him a little bit, and quarterback threw the ball and just got my hand up. Tipped it. It felt like the ball was up in the air for 20 seconds, and then it was bobbing around for a second. So it was a long play. But once we saw Ced come down, all the weight was just lifted off my shoulders. Kind of felt like Duke a couple of years ago.
Okay, last one for you, Andrew Jones.
Jeremiah, in the 3 losses, you guys were not able to overcome a lot of mistakes. But tonight, there were a lot of things to pick at, but you guys found a way to win. How infusing to the team's psyche can winning a game when so much didn't go right? How much can that infuse you guys moving forward?
I think that just helps us with when adversity strikes, we're able to fight back harder. I felt like the biggest difference between this year and prior teams before, I felt we had older heads on the team who were around for those 2-9, 3-9 seasons, who faced a lot of adversity those 2 and 3-9 seasons. So when Matt came in and we were down by little points in the game, it was nothing for the old heads to be down by 10 and not back down for a challenge. And to be able to win a game like this, to be able to scrap the whole game and win, I think that toughens us up a little bit. We knew there was going to be adversity tonight. It just, what were we going to do when adversity hits? And to see us fight back like that, I think that starts to build a little bit better culture around here when we start to face adversity.
To piggyback on that, every team wants to play a perfect game, but do you think maybe this group, given the way the season's unfolded, you guys almost needed to win a game that played out this way?
Excuse me, sorry, I couldn't see you. Here, can you say that again?
Yeah, given the way the season has unfolded, and Max talked a lot about not handling adversity well, I'm sure everybody wants to play a perfect game, but do you think this is the kind of win you guys needed to give you that next layer of fiber?
I believe so. Like I said before, there weren't a lot of miscues like the games we've had before. I thought our communication was really good. Like I said before, I thought the penalties were the biggest thing on the defensive side ball that hurt us. But like what you said, piggyback on what you said, I think definitely. The guys on the sideline, even guys who aren't out there playing, seeing how hard guys fight, seeing guys push that next level, tired, gasping for air, and still going 100%. I think that's building a culture around here that's been here, but the young guys who came in weren't able to see it for the first 2 years. But now the freshmen who came in know that we just can't be blowing teams out. There's going to be fights. There's going to be battles every Saturday. And I think that that was able to help them.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jeremiah. Appreciate a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
Move to Sam Howell here, Mark.
All right, Sam, thank you for joining us. CL Brown, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, I was curious if you could take us through a couple of those touchdown runs where it seemed like you were, basically playing you were the ping pong ball or something, where they tried to just come with a hit to knock you down and you were able to bounce off and still.
Yeah, I just wanted to leave it all out there on the field for my team. That's really all it was. So, I could have slid, but I tried to do everything I can to just stay up. They kept trying to hit me high. That's kind of what they do. They try to make the statement hit, stuff like that. So I just kind of stayed strong and just kept running through it.
And Coach Brown was talking about, and both teams were kind of coming into this game looking for an identity. What does winning this game, kind of the way you guys won this game, what does that say to you about this team?
Yeah, honestly, tonight showed me a lot. Just obviously, you know, the season's been up and down. Some mixed emotions, and you know, we didn't just lay down. You know, I thought on both sides of the ball and on special teams, we laid it all out there on the field tonight and gave everybody everything we got. And that's all I ask from this team. That's all we can do. We can just control, and leave it all out there on the field, and that's what we did tonight.
Michael Coe.
Hey, Sam. So it looked like you were really fired up after those touchdown runs. And we had Mack in here earlier, and he said that you just really don't like to slide. Do you take a lot of pride in being able to bounce off hits like that and still keep your legs driving, keep moving forward?
I mean, I don't know if I take much pride in it. I just try to run as hard as I can, honestly. And whatever happens, happens. You know, at times I'd like to slide, just protect myself. And I don't really think there's much more extra yards to get. But sometimes, depending on the moment, you know, I just want to try to run as hard as I can and just try to give everything I got to this team. That's kind of my mindset about it.
Thanks.
Let's go to Greg Barnes.
Sam, there were 4 3-and-outs in your final 5 possessions. What was going on there late, and what needs to be addressed there moving forward?
Yeah, I definitely think that's something we got to clean up. When the game's out there for us to go out there and take it, we got to be able to succeed in those scenarios. And we didn't do a good enough job of that. They kind of loaded the box a little bit, but we still had numbers. We just got to execute. You know, when we get the ball with, I think, what were we up 4 or up 3 there at the end? We got to get a couple first downs. And when the game's in our hands, we got to make sure we go out there and do our job. So that's definitely an area that we'll watch hard on film and definitely emphasize. You know, and our O-line knows, older guys, they've been here for a long time. They know those scenarios. It's really up to them. And you know, we'll learn from them to get better.
Okay, we got time for one more for Sam, and that will come from Patrick Welter.
Sam, a lot is asked of you every week, but did you feel tonight like you had to put the team maybe a little bit more on your back and will them to a win?
No, I really don't think about it like that. I mean, I really just try to go out here and do my job to the best of my ability, whether that's running the ball, throwing the ball, or handing the ball off. It really doesn't matter to me. So really just whatever's needed from me. You know, I'm just going to give everything I got to this team. And I love everybody on this team. And I love the game of football. So I'm gonna get everything I got every single time I'm out there.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.